So here's something that most people miss on their manifestation journey. You don't get what you want. You get what you are. No matter how much you visualize, affirm, or chase your goals, if you don't believe deep down that you are someone who deserves and will receive that reality, it just simply won't happen. In this video, I'm going to break down why your self-concept is the true gatekeeper of your manifestations, and also how to shift your internal identity to match with the life that you say you want. So first, think of your identity as a filter. So everything that you allow into your life, every relationship, every opportunity, every success, it has to pass through this filter of who you believe you are. So if you believe that you're someone who is always overlooked, then you'll subconsciously reject attention. And if you believe that, you're bad with money, then you'll actually sabotage subconsciously abundance that comes into your life the moment it tries to enter. So it's not just about what you desire, but it's also about what your subconscious mind believes is safe and normal for you. Manifestation is not about chasing something outside of you. It's about aligning with the version of you who already has and lives that reality. So you don't receive things by necessarily working harder. You receive them by matching their frequency. So someone who believes that they're worthy of success moves much differently in life than someone who doesn't think they deserve success. Or someone who believes that they're worthy of love and great relationships acts and shows up differently than someone who believes the opposite. So one person communicates with confidence, they don't chase, they don't tolerate less. And because of that, love, success, whatever it is, meets them at that place. But on the contrary, someone who views things in the opposite way, in a negative way, in a limiting way, then that's the reality that they receive. So this is why two people can take exactly the same action, but get completely different results. Because it's not always the action, it's the identity behind it. So how do you know if you're sabotaging yourself in these ways? How do you know if your identity is out of alignment with your true desires? Well, first, here are some very simple signs. One is that you keep hitting some kind of invisible ceiling. You get close to what you want, but that last mile, that last little distance, you just feel like you can't get there. Or another thing could be that maybe you feel like things always almost work out. You almost get there, but then everything collapses. Or maybe you find yourself repeating patterns, rejection, loss, struggle. No matter how hard you try, how much effort and energy you put in, you keep repeating some of the same cycles in your life where you have difficulty. And also listen to your inner talk, because this can give you so many clues as to where you have, inner roadblocks and obstacles. So for example, you might find yourself and catch yourself saying things like, people like me don't succeed. That isn't for me. Or I'm not ready for that yet. Or I always mess things up. I always find a way to make things more difficult. These aren't just passing thoughts. These are really identity statements. And they quietly shape in the background what you're able to receive. So now here's the really great news. No matter how many limiting beliefs you have, no matter how many obstacles you encountered in the past, you can always choose to consciously change your identity. So the first step is to very simply just observe the stories that you're telling yourself. As we talked about before, what are the repeated beliefs that you keep stating to yourself as true? Or maybe you state them to others as well. A friend asks about, how's the new job? And it's sort of, the same response, oh, it's difficult, it's long hours, it's not fair. Catch yourself when you have these kinds of limiting beliefs, because you want to understand how you've been reinforcing that old identity. And then second, now simply take this old belief and rewrite it in the way that you want, in a positive way, a positive, empowering way that will help you instead of holding you back. So ask yourself, if you already had the thing that you desire, if you already had that life, then who would you be? How would you show up? And, who would you become? And rewrite these limiting beliefs, this self-talk, to reflect that new version of you. So now step 3 is we take these new statements and you reinforce every single moment of every single day. Whenever it comes into your mind, start reinforcing this new identity. So when you catch these old limiting beliefs, replace them with the new positive ones. And think about even how you express yourself physically, how you talk, how you show up. All these things you want to start embodying physically, mentally, emotionally, everything, that new version of you who already has the things and the reality that you want. It's not about convincing yourself, it's about remembering your true potential underneath that old negative limiting programming. You can only receive what matches your self-concept, not because life is withholding anything from you, but because you're the one who won't actually let that abundance enter your life. I know that sounds crazy, but once you catch yourself in some of the beliefs that you've likely been telling yourself, you'll begin to understand what I mean. And when you just are something, when you embody it, life doesn't argue with you. It simply agrees and says, okay, and it mirrors that state back to you. So you don't need to chase anymore. That's the beauty of this. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to chase. You just have to step into that version of you who already knows it to be true. And then when you do that, receiving becomes effortless. So again, here's the real secret. You only receive what you believe you are. If you want more love, more freedom, more success, don't try to get it. Start becoming the version of you who already has it. Start embodying in yourself freedom, success, love. And that identity shift will open doors that no type of action ever could. So ask yourself today, what would change if I believed that that reality was already here, that I was already that person? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.